going on, everybody? This is B. Scott. I'm here with GOD, and 2020 draft is amongst us, and we're going to be looking at the top 10 picks, realistically, of the 2020 NFL draft. So stay locked and loaded right here. First four downs.
Drop it.
What's going on, everybody? B. Scott, GOD. First four downs, we're back, and realistically, we're going to do a little draft preview. We're going to look at the top 10 picks and kind of just run through the needs of the teams and where players probably might fall or what kind of positions they need to fill. So before tomorrow, obviously, or the draft. So we'll start at number one, Cincinnati Bengals. And realistically, this pick's been locked up since Joe Burrow won the national title. Realistically, at the end of the day, they need a quarterback. Plain and simple. Andy Dalton hasn't been the answer for them. Is that the only need they need? No, of course not. Realistically, they could use a plethora of players all around. So,
yeah, they could use a lot of players. It's crazy in less than 24 hours. You know what I mean? Joe Burrow's great college career is going to be coming to a close, and probably his whole career period. I'm telling you, Cincinnati has already pretty much announced that they're taking Joe Burrow number one. I think they should honestly trade back because they do need a lot of things. But you got to understand something. That offensive line was terrible. You know what I mean? They had a lot of inconsistency with the receivers, like being healthy. John Ross was out like pretty much for almost the whole season. He blew up the first 2 weeks, and you know what I'm saying? Then he came back later in the year. Yeah, A.J. Green, who knows if he's going to play all season or whatever, and
They
still
tagged.
holding a big franchise tag. So, yeah, that's going to be a great pick for them. You know what I'm saying? He's obviously the most highest toted candidate coming out of college right now. But I think just his career there may not be, you know what I'm saying, as bright as it may seem being the number one pick overall.
well, and not just that, but there's been talks throughout the offseason that Miami Dolphins really want Burrow, realistically. And, you know, they got a lot of firepower. You never know that they might be able to jump up to one, honestly. And honestly, if I was Cincinnati Bengals, I'd probably move back.
Yeah.
Because they need a lot of help on that defensive side of the football. Their offense isn't too bad. Joe Mixon, you know what I mean? They could use a decent tight end, but Joe Mixon isn't bad. You know what I mean? John Ross is young. AJ Green, you don't know what you're going to get with them.
I'm telling you, if Cincinnati could come out with the win some kind of way, they put a player involved in all of it. They get the 5, 18, and 26 for the number one. That's a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? They definitely.
Of course. So we can jump right to two.
Yeah.
This is another team that's right in that spot where who knows what they're going to draft. They're not drafting a quarterback, and that's the Washington Redskins, realistically. So you're looking at Chase Young, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, he's obviously the best player coming out of the draft.
Yeah.
If there wasn't the number one team that needs a quarterback, he would be the number one player overall. So
Yeah.
it's a good fit for him. Personally, I think the Redskins, they need defensive help. Honestly, you saw last year with the struggles. They're in a division that is not really wide open. There's some talented teams, but a 9-7 team won the division last year. So are they going to get better with just Chase Young? No, they're not, essentially. Yeah. But outstanding player.
Yeah, there's 2 playoff teams in that division, and there's 2 very young emerging teams coming up. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say 2, I would say 1. And the New York Football Giants, I think at the 2 pick, they should probably take like a GM or a coach there because it's just a terrible situation. You look at the Trent Williams situation, he's still, just sitting out there, still holding out.
Well, he couldn't pass a physical, but...
Yeah, but the Redskins sucks. I wouldn't pass the physical either. You know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely crazy. But Chase Young is there. You got rumors rumbling around that Atlanta is trying to move up to the 2 pick to get Chase Young. That would be a great pick for Atlanta. You know what I mean? They need that kind of guy on defense, especially losing with the players that they have and the injuries that they have had. Are they really going to take a running back there? I mean, you got Geis there. You know what I mean? He hasn't really shown that he's an NFL running back as of yet. We've seen a little bit of greatness of him. Wide receiver, no, I think they're fine at Terry McLaurin. They got Trey Quinn in the slot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe a tight end, but they're not taking a tight end.
No.
So they should very well trade back in this one, I believe. To compete in that division is going to be tough. You got the New York Football Giants. They're looking to be better with Danny Dimes and Saquon and all the host of people that are there on offense that we're going to talk about in the next couple picks.
Of course.
But you got Dallas still there. You know what I'm saying? The Eagles as well. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think they should just trade this pick back, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Chase Young, is one of those players, though, you can build a defense around, realistically. Yeah. And honestly, you see it, the great defenses more recent than not, the defensive line.
Yeah.
You got a good defensive line, you can win a Super Bowl, personally. So, absolutely outstanding pick. But number 3, we got the Detroit Lions. And this is a team that, on the offensive side of the football, is pretty set. They drafted Hawkinson last year. They still got Stafford, who is still a pretty good quarterback. Don't get me wrong, top 15 quarterback in the league, 10 to 15, easily. And then Marvin Jones Jr. still there. Galladay's a beast. Running back position, carry on coming back. So, realistically, they're looking at defense players.
Yep.
So,
yeah, you got Darius Slay that they couldn't pay. You know what I mean? I think they just brought Desmond Trufant over there. He's obviously not the same player that he used to be.
Yeah, of course.
Wasn't that great in the beginning, to be honest with you. But, right here you take Jeff Okudah. Absolute physical specimen, athleticism out of this world. He could just jump off. He just jumps off the screen as the number 3 pick. Out the second best defensive player coming out of the draft, period. I think that's a lock there. They should probably take this guy right here, unless they trade him back. Any of these teams in the top 5 can trade back, to be honest with you. But I think the Lions should take Jeff Okudah, just period, point blank.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to stick to the defensive side. So we can go to the number 4 pick, New York Football Giants. Realistically, they're looking at offensive linemen.
Yep.
Their defense is always pretty solid. Realistically, they beefed up the secondary. They could really use an offensive lineman to protect Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
So
you look at his turnovers last year. Even somebody sneezed on him, he fumbled the football.
Yeah, of course.
Not even interceptions. You know what I mean? So, they got to protect him. You got Saquon there. It just helps the running game. You know what I mean? They got a young emerging receiver in Darius Slayton. You still got the veteran leadership with the Golden Tate, Sterling Shepard there, Evan Ingram there. You need another guy to beef up that line, protect Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, to compete in that division, as we just said, with Washington, Philly, Dallas. So, yeah, I think they should take that right there.
Yeah, absolutely. So then we can look right at the Miami Dolphins. This is the pick. Yeah, everyone's expecting Tua. You know what I mean? Realistically, to go. Miami Dolphins also are on that team where they overpaid a lot on defense this year in the offseason. Don't get me wrong, they got some great players, but they did overpay, plain and simple. So they can utilize a lot of things on offense, but quarterback especially. There's no reason for this not to be a quarterback pick. I like Tua as an actual prospect. He's a great player, honestly, but his durability worries me too much to take as a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's shown throughout his entire career that he can't stay healthy at all, from high school all the way through college. How could you take a top 5 pick on him? I mean, realistically. So, lots of quarterbacks in the draft. This should be a quarterback.
Yeah, I think the Miami Dolphins right here. There's a lot of rumors going around that they're trying to creep into the top 4 picks to take the best offensive tackle. You know what I mean, and also keep their 5 pick and draft quarterback. I think this is Justin Herbert right here. I got a funny feeling. I think Tua sucks, and I think that he's showing that he has arthritis right now. That's already a big red flag for me. You know what I'm saying? I think Tua may slip down in the 20s. Everybody gonna beat me up for that. I mean, if he don't, he don't. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's talented enough to be the second quarterback coming out of this draft, no question. But if you look at it, his injuries, like you just said, I just don't see that happen right here. Justin Herbert is a little bit better, in my opinion, but Oregon products lately have not been that very good if you look at them all. So, yeah, they probably do take a quarterback here, or they try to jump up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So those are the top 5 picks.
Yeah.
Now we can look at number 6. We got the Los Angeles Chargers, and this is another quarterback pick, in my opinion. I mean, you look at that defense; it's outstanding. Personally, they added Chris Harris Jr. You got Derwin James full year healthy. Casey Hayward on the other side. You still got Bosa. You got Ingram. That defense is legit. They can use a linebacker. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Justin Simmons could come off that board there.
Absolutely, but realistically, is Tyrod Taylor going to be their answer, especially in the long-term future when there's this many quarterbacks that are talented coming out?
Yeah,
I just don't see it. So realistically, it should probably, in my opinion, be a quarterback.
I don't see it there either. Yeah, it should be a quarterback. Honestly, they've been looking at Jalen Hurts, who I think is the quarterback of this draft. And they also been looking at Justin Herbert. You know what I'm saying? They've been looking at Tua as well. I think with that offense already set up, they retained Hunter Henry on the tag. Still got Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. You got Austin Eckler already there. And also there's a good pass catching running back coming out of the backfield which Jalen Hurts doesn't really throw very good under the 10 yards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you get a guy like that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much automatic. But what is good about him, he's one of these air raid offenses that come out of Lincoln Riley, Cliff Kingsbury system. You think about Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes. This is also one of their products. So to compete in that division where Patrick Mahomes is, I think it's a no-brainer. They should take Jalen Hurts right here, unless or you let him slip all the way down to the Patriots. I'm telling you, he's going to get took, and he's going to be the best player in this draft, probably at least the best quarterback.
Yeah, Chargers also could look at
over Burrow.
I don't know. Chargers could look for an offensive lineman too. Don't get me wrong, their offensive line has always been terrible, so they could definitely beef up the line. But on to the number 7 pick, we have the Carolina Panthers. I don't know what they're going to pick, realistically. Probably on the defensive side. Maybe a lineman, but I don't know. They signed Bridgewater in the offseason.
PJ Walker.
That's what I'm saying. They cut Cam.
Yeah.
They draft Robbie Anderson.
Yeah. They lose Greg Olsen. You know what I'm saying? Kuechly retires there, so Justin Simmons could come off at 7.
Yeah.
But you think about the veteran leadership there is gone. They lost the coach, Cam, Greg Olsen, Kuechly's gone.
Yeah.
I think what they need to do is go to another city and get another logo.
Oh, is that what it is? Just start a new team.
Yes, completely.
Let's move it all over.
It's terrible.
XFL, take over the Roughnecks, man. You got Walker.
There's no more XFL.
I know, but they start calling them Roughnecks.
I think this is Carolina CMC. That's what it is. Christian McCaffrey's going to beat. Who knows what they're going to take? Probably something on defense to
help
replace
Kuechly.
To replace Kuechly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's what that is there.
Still did last in their division.
Yeah.
Especially with Brady who moved over there. So
terrible.
We jumped to the number 8 pick. We got the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Now, realistically, they could look at an offensive lineman to help them out. They could use some defensive players. You know, they got a plethora of wide receivers now. So they're looking at keeping Kenyon Drake. So
yeah, I don't think that's going to be a no-brainer there. This is a defensive pick. It's going to be a defensive back, obviously, unless they trade down. They don't need a lot.
No,
they could use some of the stuff to run. They lost Terrell Suggs right before the the NFL playoffs last year, so that could be a spot that they fill. They're in it to compete in that division, especially with DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, come on, man.
And you
it's
look
crazy.
at the Rams. You look at the Rams. They're falling out of the division.
Terrible.
Realistically, they're in a rebuild. They cut some.
Are they the Rams or the Chargers? Same
know.
logo.
That's what I'm saying. It's very
Weird.
Similar.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're trimming the fat around there. They already know what's up.
Yeah,
so the Cardinals, they're up and rising in a tough division. Don't get me wrong, but you never know. There's a lot of players that could help them out.
Yeah.
So Jacksonville Jaguars, the number 9 pick.
Yeah.
They're similar to the Rams where they're rebuilding. You know, they've gotten rid of a lot of their defensive players. I don't really know what they're doing except they tag Ngakoue. Why? You know what I mean? It's like
he's the biggest ticket that they have left for a trade acquisition or anything, and that, you know what I'm saying. You think about that dominant defense that they had and that run they had. None of them are there no more except for him. So, you know what I mean. There's a lot of teams willing to pay that kind of price, especially leading up to draft day. It's the night before. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of things that could be happening there. Honestly, they need a world of things. You got Gardner Minshew there. You got DJ Chark. You know what I'm saying? That's a good tandem. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. They already got rid of Foles. Cam could be there next season. Jameis Winston, if he's recovered from his eye surgery. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. But there's a lot of funk there. I think this may very well be the GMs. I know I've been making jokes about the GM and the coach, but Marone and that GM, this may very well be their last season there.
Yeah. So the last pick we're going to go over, the number 10 pick, we got the Cleveland Browns. And realistically, their offense is right where it needs to be. Yeah. They added Austin Hooper at the tight end position, perfect for Baker Mayfield. Still got Jarvis Landry. OBJ trade rumors, who knows, but he's still on the roster, so they're probably going to be looking more than likely on the defensive side.
Yeah, I think so too. They had a young budding defense. In that division, they got to be able to stop people. They don't really need much on offense, as you just said. I think last year under Freddie Kitchens, the team just gave up on each other. You know what I mean? It was absolutely dismal, and it's crazy to see what they built. You know what I'm saying? And just absolutely dissolve like that. I don't understand. They were so highly projected to be like just dope.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Just absolutely fell on the ground. So, yeah, I do think that this is going to be a defensive pick. So, that's what that is.
Yep. So anyway, NFL draft's going on tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be right here live on YouTube.
Yep.
Giving you all the info, some early projections, stuff like that, possible trades, possible players being moved.
The pick by pick, whatever's going on, we got you. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So don't forget, like the video, subscribe if you want to see us for more. And for the first 4 downs, B. Scott,
GOD.
we out.